Differentiated instruction. This sure is a hot topic in education right now. If you are watching this video, you are probably a teacher like myself or involved with education in some way. I know what you're thinking. We've all heard about differentiated instruction. We know this is what we should be doing. So why am I watching this again? But before you go and X out of this video, let me tell you a quick story. Recently, at a professional development day on differentiated instruction, I heard another teacher make a comment that went something like this: "We might as well give every student an IEP." This comment evoked several laughs, as I'm sure is intended as a joke, and perhaps there was a touch of sarcasm there, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't laugh as well. However, when I thought about this comment, I found myself wondering, how many teachers believe there is some truth to this statement? How many teachers believe that differentiated instruction is tailoring learning to each and every individual student? This comment, along with general skepticism and questioning around the room that day in regards to differentiated instruction, is what prompted me to create this video. My objective is to clear up some misconceptions about differentiated instruction and for you to walk away with a better understanding of what differentiated instruction is. Now, you're probably smart enough to deduce that differentiated instruction has nothing to do with creating an IEP for every student. We all know that this would not be plausible. In fact, it was tried in the 1970s. It was called individualized instruction. Every student was assigned something different. It didn't take long for teachers to become exhausted, as we would expect. The difference is that differentiated instruction should offer different avenues to learning, not separate levels for each learner. Understanding how humans learn is a great first step in learning what differentiated instruction is all about. If you're not familiar with Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, it would be well worth your time to do a quick Google search on this. I want you to think about this question. How do you and your coworkers get to work? Does everyone come from the same place? Or do people come from various towns and areas? Do you all take the same route? Or are there multiple ways of getting there through the use of highways, avenues, and back roads? How long does it take you and your coworkers to get to work? Does it take the same amount of time for everyone? Or does it vary from person to person? We can think about student learning the same way we think about how we get to work. As teachers, we want all of our students to arrive at the same place, but how we get them there and how long it will take to get them there will vary from student to student. Our students are all coming from somewhere different and will require various roads or instructional strategies to get them where they need to be. Now that we have a better understanding about how diverse students are when it comes to learning, let's clear up some more misconceptions about differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is not grading a student harder or easier on an assignment. It is not giving an advanced learner a more complex question on an assignment that is too easy, or allowing a struggling student to skip a test question because they never understood the material. These methods are not effective. Differentiated instruction is proactive. The teacher understands that different learners have different needs. The teacher proactively plans for this by knowing his or her students. Learning experiences address a broad range of learner needs rather than a single approach for everyone. Differentiated instruction is a blend of whole class, group, and individual instruction that is managed and monitored by the teacher. Differentiated instruction does provide multiple approaches to content, process, and product. Differentiated instruction is student-centered. Learners need an active role in making and evaluating decisions. Shared responsibilities and student leaders frees the teacher up to work with various groups or individuals. Lastly, differentiated instruction is rooted in assessment. Students are no longer tested only at the end of a unit. Students are assessed before, during, and after to better understand the students and their needs. This allows for learning experiences to be designed based on student readiness, interests, and modes of learning. Students learn in different ways, but they also have strengths and weaknesses in the way that they can show what they've learned. Students should be allowed multiple ways in showing what they've learned at the end of a unit. A traditional test or quiz may not be the most successful way a student can show what they've learned. Teachers should have a repertoire of assessment tools that correlate with all of Gardner's intelligences. Teachers can then implement these assessments as needed based on particular students they have. Creating a differentiated classroom is not something that can be done overnight. It should be taken slow, implementing new instructional strategies one at a time over the course of a few years. I hope you have a better understanding of what differentiated instruction is and is not. At the very least, I hope you understand that differentiated instruction is not an IEP for each student, but is the mixing up of instructional strategies, so students have multiple ways of taking in information, making sense of this information, and expressing what they've learned in an effective way.